we've bought into as women.
Yeah.
We have bought into it. Like the smaller, the better. Well, what is smaller? That's weaker, right? That's less power. I'm not gonna subscribe to that, and I'm not gonna allow you.
I don't think you ever have.
I mean, that's why that thing is right behind me. You know, it's not about.
Don't worry.
It doesn't say shrinking.
But that is a great show.
It is a great show, though.
Hey, I went
Hi, Lee.
first.
Yeah, you always go first.
No, wrong. What's up?
It's everything. How are you?
Great.
I know. I can see that. What are we here for today? What are you in? what kind of mood are you in today?
Deep therapy,
Okay.
light talking.
Have you come out of your deep dark, from the last podcast? Good. All right, good. Here we are. We're
All
coming in
pumped
strong.
up.
We're coming in light. We're coming in strong. Let's
Pumped
go.
up and ready to go.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Yeah. You taught a good class this weekend. Well, you taught a good class today, actually.
Well, thanks.
I came into your 8:15.
That was wild.
That was fun.
Yeah, your biorhythm is not 8:15.
No, it's not.
But you
It's
came in
9:30.
and you had this little look on your face like, look who's here.
I did.
I got ready.
I want like some kind of points.
Well, should we talk about that there was a time change and
Yeah.
that probably helped you out a little bit?
And that's why I'm yawning, or might yawn at
Maybe
some
that's
point.
it.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the daylight
I
savings
still
thing.
don't know why we do this,
I
but
don't either. It doesn't
whatever.
make any sense. I mean, first of all the young mothers walking into the studio this week have been like, "Oh my God," because their
Kids
kids
are out
don't
of
know
whack.
the difference, and they're waking up at whatever time. I don't know where we are on time, but we jumped ahead. We spring forward, right? So we lose. That means you lose when you spring, and you lose. These hours of sleep are important.
They are important, and
Especially
I'm
when we
not
get
getting
up
any,
early.
so I've got to do that. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. But here's a problem I have of it becomes nighttime and you're exhausted.
Yes.
And Lily gets a second wind.
Yes, you do.
And I stay up and I do shit, or I just try to get things done.
Yeah.
And really, I should be powering down and getting rest so that I can do it better the next
Why
day.
do you think you rev up at night? I mean, that's the last thing I'm going to do is rev
There's
up.
a window, and I kind of felt it last night, where I'm tired, and then I just am interested in what I'm doing, and I keep going, and I need to put it away.
I know.
And I'm not talking about reading a book and setting myself to sleep. I'm talking about scrolling and
Music,
working and
scrolling,
interneting,
yeah.
playlist and travel and
Yeah.
schedule and
When you're with
I gotta
me, you'll
stop.
go, "Oh my God, look at this," and you'll be scrolling through the Instagram, and I'm like, the Instagram needed to be off an hour ago, and now I'm.
well, you're really one to talk about that.
I
It's
am
not
a big
always
Instagrammer. I'm not going to do it before I go to bed. That's the worst.
Bed?
Yeah, it's the worst thing to do.
I'm Liz. I'm from Concord. I know everything. So let me teach you.
I'll just get
No
myself
Instagram.
a Pepsi
No,
Cola and call it a day.
owning it. I need to shut down earlier at night. And that's
We
kind of
all
what
do.
we're talking about today is how to listen to your body, when to lock in push, when to pull back rest, how to know, and what to do.
Yeah.
So that's where I need to pull back
Right.
and lock in the daytime more efficiently, I guess.
Well, you lock
What
in
about
pretty
you?
good. You lock in early in the morning. You get up and you go. And I think you know that about your biorhythm. And I think we all need
Sure,
to, first
for
of all,
workout.
know our biorhythm. That's one thing I like about this Aura ring we have is that kind of, they'll give you that information, but I already knew I'm a mid-morning kind of workout girl, not that 6 a.m. Hats off to you guys, 5 a.m. Because we do it sometimes for other businesses when we get hired and we have to go teach at 5 a.m. class.
Right.
I am wasted. I'm like, I need to go to bed at 3 p.m. and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. It's hard. Like when you get off your biorhythm, I think
Yeah.
you're more tired throughout the day.
Yeah.
And we tend to, when that happens, like when you're a little bit delirious or whatever, it's like you eat more and you're just
Yes.
trying to find, it's like a hangover. It's like you're just trying to find
Yeah.
the next thing to help you
balance.
get through the other minutes. So, it is nice when we can stick to our regular biorhythm. So I'm a morning workout, you're a mid-morning workout. We never work out at night. I also want to walk more. I've not been getting out for walks.
And it's
been
beautiful.
winter, but now it's been beautiful,
It's
and I
gorgeous.
just haven't been able to. So I need
Well,
to prioritize.
We're going to do it today because it's a beautiful day. As soon as
Yes,
we're out of here,
ma'am.
we're gonna
Isn't
do
that interesting that the minute you say that, I'm like, no. Because it's like you're telling me to do something.
Yeah, that's the truth. That is the truth. When somebody, and that is the point.
That's what we're gonna
If
do.
people say you have to strength train 3 to 4 times a week, well, you do.
But we're still going to tell you.
We're
you
still
have
going to
to.
tell you that. But it takes away some of your own, like, I know that. I'm going to go do it when I want to do it.
Right.
We need to have that independence and that freedom to, like, I'm going to go do this because I want to.
Right. And I do buck up against you internally, and sometimes I'll say, like,
And
that's
externally.
enough. Because of that. Like,
Yeah.
you're able to so much, like, problem solution, just do this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that I want to wallow in
This is
it.
the thing about, and we're not going to talk about drinking today. We did not come here to talk about drinking. You can drink or you can not drink, but some of us have a boundary, Like I've always been pleased that I don't overdrink, because I always thought, well, gosh, I enjoy a glass of wine or 2, but what if I drank way too much and then I wasn't allowed to do it anymore because I like it so much?
Oh, I see.
So I found my boundaries early, because I come from a family of alcoholics, and
Oh, good.
I mean, the women in my family die young of alcoholism.
It's not funny.
It's not funny
God,
at all.
you just
I don't know
snorted.
why I'm laughing.
I don't know how you even got to this topic.
Anyway, point
my God.
being is when we do over imbibe, like on a Friday night or whatever, or when you do, I'm sorry.
Please stop.
I'm going to do it anyway. You don't know where that lever is to go, and I'm done. I do. I'm not sure why. Why don't you speak to that for a minute?
No. I'm going to back that up.
Okay.
We're not talking.
If this is not about Lee, this is not
No,
about Lee.
I'm not here
I know.
to be judged.
I just
or
thought
be
it was an
told.
interesting
Let's have a
thing.
conversation.
You said I have this tendency.
switch, yeah.
And it's a switch. I have that when I'm having wine. I'm like, at some point, I don't care what you put in front of me. I'm like, I'm done.
Good for you.
I know. It's so obnoxious.
A little bit, but
anyway,
it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Let's try to dial it in
Let's
to
dial
our
it in.
topic.
Topic being,
When to lock in and when to pull back. So there's
Right.
things in our lives such as working out, and let's talk on that. So one, we talk about the biorhythm of carving out time in your schedule that works for your body, right? Like if it's not working, or you never feel better after, or you can't get motivated, or you're always doing the cancel button, or you're just hating it, then I think you need to find ways to reschedule. And
or you need to find a workout that interests you that you will
and
get
be
up for.
efficient, right? So you don't have to feel like you need to go to the gym for 3 hours, but if you just add in, let's say nothing's working, if you just add in those, when you can sprinkle in the walks or the walking up the stairs or parking further away, and
Yeah.
then when you can make those walks more like an actual walk, or add the weighted vest, or just small ways to add intensity throughout the day.
Yeah. You and I, I'm sorry, I've got the giggles. You and I have weighted vests.
You probably worn
in
them
my-
like 3
In my
times.
Pilates room. They have been, they've been used, 3 times? Anyway, I just was to bring that up because I think I got shamed out of it by my own daughter. She was like,
Really?
You know how stupid you look? Really? How old am I, 14 or, 72?
Yeah. Oh,
And
daughters,
all of a
they
sudden I
always
was
do it to
like,
us.
wait, that does look kind of stupid. Oh, never mind. I strength train. I don't need to do it. Anyway. So
So
go
we
ahead.
didn't get on that
No.
like trend.
No, we didn't, but we've got the vest if anyone wants to rent or buy. But yeah, and they're actually a good idea. I mean, if you don't do any other strength training for your
sure.
legs at this moment in your life and you have a weighted vest, wear it and go for a brisk walk. Because it's going to, anything you put, you've got resistance more in that walk. Pull your belly button in, you're going to get the core work, you're going to get your leg work. It's good stuff. And go at a pace and go as long as you can. That's good for you. Real good for you. It's good for you without the vest too. But yeah, that gives you a little more bang for your buck with your walk.
Let's talk about spot training and
Yeah.
how the workout that we're doing, is it spot training? Is it not? Is that an actual thing? Like, can you actually
Yes.
do one exercise for an extended amount of time with a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of way to really target a certain area?
Right.
So what is your opinion or thoughts or advice on that?
I actually have a strong opinion on that.
Ooh.
And actually, I'm just going by what I know to be true. Yes, you want to work parts of your body heavier or lighter on certain days. And you're going, well, you do Hilliard City method, and that's heavy and light every day. That is leg work every day. That is, I like what our workout is, the strength training and Pilates aspect of it. But what I do is I mix up my weights in here. So for instance, today, I came in strong on upper body because today was Monday. This is certainly not the day it's going to be out on the podcast. But it was a Monday. I had the full day off on Sunday. Like I did nothing or rested. And so I came in really strong, trying to hit my upper body harder with heavier weights. And then did a regular lower body work. And then other days I'll come in, I'll pick lighter weights up and I'll do the upper body, but I'll go real strong on the lower body.
Got it.
And maybe I'll pick up heavier weights when we're doing lunges or something else, and not necessarily do all the arm work with it,
Right.
but do the leg work with it. I love my workouts so much. I try to go, now and then I'll go when we're traveling, or just other times I'll go to a gym and I'll go into the room and I'll try to concentrate on just legs, say. But
And is that by choice because you do every other, or because that's what you feel?
no, it is by choice, because to know your body, I know what my body can do. And I think we all need to know what we're capable of. And if my body was feeling exhausted with lower body work, I would just do straight up upper body. But to put that into perspective, a lot of workouts, I think Orange Theory or somebody else, and I've never even been to that, so if I'm wrong, and please call me, but some of the HIIT workouts that are there, they will concentrate. They'll say, we're doing leg day, we're doing ab day, we're doing upper body day. Well, I say every day is a total body with an emphasis on upper body, core, and lower. But one day is heavier on upper body, one day is heavier on lower body. And I kind of feel like the core can handle a lot.
Right. And
I don't think you can overdo it too much. But
Okay.
You can.
I don't know. I'd roll back
I
on
will
that.
roll back on that. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not putting heavy weights with our core work,
Right.
but I might do it a little more ferociously.
Well, what I do think you're saying is you do this workout because it is efficient and total body, and within it, you're able to listen to your body and know when to push to do a little more of that spot training.
Right.
Right. So I think that's what I love about it too, is that some days I'll be heavy weights in the hand with the upper body, and then modified push-ups and plank.
Right.
Or keep pushing there and take a break.
And listening to your body. Anytime your body's feeling hurt,
Yeah, I
or
think
any of
that's
that. Yeah, but back to if you were just going to a gym and you were just lifting weights, go in twice a week, do your upper body, twice a week, do your lower body, but always get a little hit of abs before you're walking out of there. I'm not a big fan of the gym ab machines. I don't even know what they're called. I literally don't know what they're called, but I see them. They're like the crunches and all that sort of thing.
Right.
I feel like you can come out of position on some of those if you're not careful, which is why I like the Pilates aspect and the positioning we make sure you're in at Hilliard. We make sure you're not going to wreck your back or
Right.
overdo your psoas, which can get really super tight when you're doing a lot of crunchy kind of work. So, as long as you're stretching, I want to go back to the core from the abdominals and the back. As long as you're stretching every single time you do that,
Okay.
I just say I feel like that's a consistent thing. I don't think you should have an ab day. I think every day should be an ab day. Walking around should be an ab day.
Well, and I think a better way to put it is a core day,
Yeah.
because there's one thing to kind of crunch out a six pack, and there's another thing to work the depths of your core to protect your back and strengthen around your spine. So anything you're doing that I think is, either body resistance or weighted resistance that is training your abdominals towards inward strength and flexing your back extensors into back strength is that real balanced way to work it.
Right.
I remember seeing some younger girls in their little sets somewhere, and it was like, oh my God, if someone did that to me, like I would break in half. So they were head and shoulders on the mat like you used to do in the old days. and somebody was standing beside their ears, so I'm holding on behind the ankles,
God, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so my legs are straight up in the air, and they're like throwing the girl's legs
yeah,
down
that's a
and
thing
back
to
up.
do.
Remember that from
No.
the gym? I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Yeah, they did that in PE.
Yes.
Throw them down. You have to stop it before
Yeah.
you hit the floor, and you have to contract your abdominals. Careful as you age doing
Careful
that one.
about that.
But it is effective. I mean, definitely.
And just like those Russian twists where we were slamming the ball. And,
whatever you're doing with those, if you're doing those twists or you're doing those, just make sure you've got your lower belly connected toward your spine, the transverse abdominis. I mean, nobody really knows that when they're young, and they don't really get injured, I don't think, doing it. So.
No, it's just so funny how we
Yeah.
age
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And that's important that we're learning and teaching people younger and earlier how to
Right.
to really connect to that most important
But
part
I think
of the
the
body.
challenge with working out is to do it every day, but don't overwork your day. I mean, don't overwork your body. And so I just want to go to the rest day. I take one
Yes,
day of
let's.
full rest. Sometimes I'll go on a light walk that day. Sometimes yesterday I did not.
Yeah.
I mean, I went straight up rest. You know, I guess, count hanging out with your granddaughter and walking around the mall or something, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was straight up rest. But the other 5 to 6 days a week, I'm moving pretty intentionally and pretty intently on, I'd say 5 days a week.
Intensely too.
Intensely and with intent to
Right.
work my body totally out.
Uh-huh.
And even if I'm not doing upper body that day, I've got lighter weights in my upper body, and I'm using them and I'm using enough resistance that my body is, it's not holding, it's moving, it's having some resistance. There's the line between overworking out and underworking out, and I think people that are in the fitness community tend to overwork out.
Yeah.
And sometimes some of our clients do. And we say, hey, maybe it's time for a day off. You got to be willing to tell people that.
Right.
And I have to tell
We
myself
have
that.
before. I mean, we did a challenge once, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
And people were trying to take the most classes. And so by the end, I think someone was bordering on 4 a day. So we said, absolutely not. Like, y'all can tie.
4
We're
a
not
day
gonna
in
do
here?
that. Maybe it was 3, but it was just like, there's not the purpose. And we learned how to do our challenges differently.
Yeah, we did.
After that. And I don't know what it is. I mean, that good feeling of endorphins, that good feeling of vanity, of that you look good and you feel good, or if people say you look good, that we get on some sort of hamster wheel that like goes to that point of no return.
Right.
Of
Right.
mentally and emotionally. And I think it's very hard with fitness being so popular. It's so
and
wonderful.
I'm glad that it's popular.
Yeah, it is wonderful. And I just want to hope that we can maintain kind of a strength mentality, for your body to age well, for your body to, be its best body and not somebody else's best body.
Well, I think if we could just go by a game plan of if you're working out intensely more than 1 hour a day, you're overworking out. I believe that's true. I'm not sure it's true for everybody. Maybe if you're
Sure,
a pro
training
athlete,
for
you've got to
something,
do
yeah.
something else. But if you're just a person going through life, trying to be in the best shape you can, but trying to be healthy and doing all the nutrition, then an hour a day, if you're doing it well and right and efficiently, that's all you need. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to, at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, go for a walk. I'm gonna keep that in it. That's not really a workout. That's a movement. The body craves movement. We never want to just sit down the rest of the day. As a matter of fact, people that do maybe do a really efficient 1 hour a day workout and then go to their office and sit the rest of the day, that's counterproductive right there.
Right.
They need to be standing and moving and taking the steps and, moving their body around and stretching. So yeah, that is not to say not to move, but I think over an hour a day, if you're coming in here and then you're going on a marathon run, you better be training for something with somebody who's a coach. Really.
Agree.
Yeah, it's a lot. And your body can handle that just so long.
Right.
And then it's gonna start to break down in certain ways. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole purpose of your workout, was created to feel better and live longer.
yeah,
For
yeah.
anybody at any age and stage. So if you're getting to a point where your workouts are all encompassing or all consuming in your brain, or you're never fully satisfied, or you don't feel good after, then that's a big red flag.
I can't tell you how many people still come up to me and say, how many hours do you work out a day? And I'm always so surprised. I'm like, why would I work out more than an hour?
Right. Well, it's not even an hour.
Exactly.
50 at this point with the stretch. And I like that the response after the workouts is generally, that was really hard. And then there's a B, and then that was really good. So there's the balance that I want you to have after the workout, that you say, wow, I worked so hard that part of that was really difficult to achieve, that I can see myself, pushing harder than I would have on my own perhaps. And I didn't push so hard that I'm injured, because it is low impact. And whoa, I felt really good. That switch of accomplishment and endorphins in a good way, that you can walk down the stairs without, you might shake every now and then. What do you think about being sore? Like, is that necessary to indicate that you've had a good workout?
I don't think so. I mean, I really don't. And it is, some people do get more sore. I don't so much.
Yeah.
And you and I did a really new kind of, anytime your body does something new and different, you're going to probably get sore. And so we did something new when we were in New York, and it was fun to do. And you were really sore. I wasn't. And then I did get sore. And for some reason, I almost felt like, oh, yay, that's my...
Right.
We can't help but think that. But if you're doing it really efficiently and stretching your body out and giving yourself enough hydration and enough fuel, you might be sore, you might not. But I want to say, in here, we do work certain times to muscle exhaustion. And that's, you're going to need to fuel that, because you're going to be sore after you do those squats with those heavy weights and things in your hands.
Yeah. I think that's just something to note and be aware of. Like, the goal isn't to be sore. If you are sore, that's okay. And you probably worked in a little bit of a different way. Maybe you're more tuned in, maybe you're more tuned out. Again, hormones, water, hydration, fuel, all of that plays into it. So it's not necessary to be sore.
Yeah.
And then we don't heat the studio.
No.
And why not?
Because
Another hot take.
Well, because the body is very adaptable, and what you're getting when you go to a heated workout is your heart rate's going to increase, you're going to sweat profusely, which is great, and you're going to lose a lot of fluid. You're also going to be so limber and flexible that you can actually push to injury. I've seen it done. It's fun, and people think, or they think it's fun. I don't think it's fun. People have a mentality, and I get that. Oh, I'm sweating like crazy. This is the best workout ever. And I'll bet you're doing a fourth of what we're doing in this room at room temperature, and we do it at 72 degrees. We're not full of bells and whistles here. We're just straight up amazing, fun workout that works. But I've always disagreed with heated yoga. I love yoga, but I don't like heated yoga, because I personally was injured when I was, and I was even a professional trainer then. But I didn't even know I was injuring myself. I didn't feel it happen. I was in a really hot room. Piriformis injuries are prominent in those kind of situations. Anterior shoulder and bicep injuries, prominent in a heated environment. You don't know how deep you're going sometimes.
And I know there's an element too of not competition, but let's be real. When you're in a studio with other people around, there is a level that you might push a little bit harder. Like, I'm inspired.
Well, they do in
should
here.
be the goal, right?
Yeah.
I'm inspired to stay here one more beat or go 1 inch lower. But I think in that heated room, maybe you might lose the ability to judge that very well.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to shit on workouts that do it, because they're successful, and that's for a reason. And I think it's mostly the way people feel after. But I think people have to scientifically understand that you are not supposed to, like, the workout isn't ineffective if you're not sweating. So I look like a rat after every class, sweaty. Well, but that's me personally.
You sometimes like to go to the heated yoga, and I want to speak specifically to yoga for a minute, because I really wish I could go to yoga, but everybody's heated, and I know somebody else. Please go ahead, DM me if you're not heated. But when, for instance, that is a body discipline that is very personal, and when yoga was 100 billion years ago, before any of us even knew anything about it, the original yogis would work with your body specifically on your personal movement. What does your body do that's going to open your hips, or do the things that not only align and attune it was very spiritual as well.
Yeah.
But it was also, what's one move for her is not the same move I should be doing at all. And you put me in a heated room beside her, and her body is really on fire, and her heart is singing, doing this move, and I'm doing it. I could really get injured doing it. So I think that is the thing that irritates me about that discipline.
Got it.
That has become so, I don't know, whatever. It's supposed to be very individual.
Right.
And I wish I knew a good yogi that would get my body going on that again.
Get my body going on that. Yeah, no. Yeah. And again, we're obviously love and understand this workout. And I just like to bring these things up because I do know that you've been doing this well for a long time, and along the way, trends have come. So that's fine if you go to a heated Pilates studio. Again, it's just not necessarily necessary coming from somebody who does enjoy to sweat.
Yeah.
That's just that.
Yeah.
Not necessary.
We're
Sore's
all
not necessary.
individual.
Sweat's not necessary.
Yeah.
Any other things that you think are myths or trends that people are trying to get out of their workout that maybe aren't?
I'll tell you the main thing.
Overworking we've discussed.
The main thing that is sort of maybe it's just an irritation because I've done this for so long, and I've done this particular workout for almost 19 years, this exact workout that changes all the time, is that people don't get the thought that they need a challenge. You'll go to a gentle Pilates, gentle yoga, gentle something, even if it's a gentle strength training.
I don't think there even has to be gentle in front of it.
Yeah, but no, I'm not saying they put that in front of it. They'll go, oh, well, but I love this Pilates class because I can do it. Well, if you can do it, why are you going? If it's not challenging you, then yeah, you're going to make some friends. You're going to have a good time. And so I'm not going to tell you not to go. But if you want to be healthier, and when you challenge your body, you challenge your brain. When you challenge your body, you challenge everything about you.
Right.
You learn things about yourself that you didn't know you knew, and that your body is trying to teach you all the time. Movement of the body is always trying to teach you, here's how far you can go. Here's where you didn't think you could go. Guess what? You can. Well, if I can do this, I can probably do other things I don't think I can do. And so the challenge, I'm not trying to achieve anything in this room, in my workout. If you're just trying to come in and do every move, and you can do every move, then you need to move on to another workout.
Or pick up heavier weights.
Or pick up heavier weights.
Harder,
right.
Not take as many breaks.
You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. And I loved when I used to teach Pilates on the equipment, on the reformer. But I could see my clients, cruising.
Yeah,
and
surfing, cruising,
I'm
toasting.
like, no, we're not cruising in here. We're gonna make this a little tougher. But I really like this move, And that's why when I see some of the Pilates that are on those pieces of equipment, and you've got 8 or 12 people, some people are probably cruising, and some people are probably really working hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like that's why I like what we're doing here, is that nobody's cruising in here, and if they are, I want to hear about it.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Then I need to do whatever you're doing outside of here.
I think those are 3 really good kind of general takeaways. You spoke at an event last year, and somebody reached out for you to speak at another event, kind of trickle down based on, her loving what your speech was about. And I like that she said at the end, she's like, ever since then, whenever I hear your voice in my head whenever I'm lifting something heavy.
Yeah, that's
because that's one of your huge takeaways. You got to lift something heavy.
That you don't want to lift. I don't want to pick that up. That's too heavy.
Right. Right. And you got to do all that carefully, but that general mentality of let's go back 100 years, 200 years, and how were people moving, and what did we have to do before our lifestyle and our day-to-day life became too efficient.
Exactly.
Right? Like moved by cars, fed our information by phones.
Right.
And so we're working hard to combat that.
Yeah, I love that. And that's why I'm like, get outside, pull your kids on a wagon. Do they have wagons anymore? I don't know. Or that's one of the things I love when we were in Motion Fitness the other day, and I was watching those guys push the sled.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's some good stuff. Go out and push something really hard. You know, pull something that's really hard. But but get set up so that you don't pull anything out of joint, especially if you're over 35 or 40, and you know you want to be able to work out into your 80s, 90s, and 100s. And I'm in my 70s, so I'm young, and so yeah, I mean that's the goal. The goal is healthy bodies, healthy minds, feeling good so you can have fun. The goal is not am I the best one in the room?
Right.
Maybe that is your goal. I don't know. But I mean, my goal is always to enjoy life and to do something that's fun. And that's why I do this workout. And that's why I do all the things I do. Period.
Good balance.
Yeah, yeah. And as far as nutrition goes, I mean, we've talked about it before, but, balancing your nutrition so that you're getting the right, at least close to the right amounts of the things you need, the good protein, the good vegetables, fruits, good carbohydrates. But most important of all, you enjoy it. And learn to enjoy the things that are healthy for you because you can.
Right. Because you can. Yeah.
Because you can.
They are good.
You can train your body
Feeling
just like you can train your taste buds just like you can train your body.
Right. Well, and I think we're in another phase of society where not body dysmorphia is a thing, but there is a huge focus on bodies, whether that's, from viewing them, from models, from GLP-1s, from everything. We're like kind of all consumed again and really talking about people's bodies and how they look and who's gone too far and what's happening. And I mean, I guess, I struggle with that and have my whole life about feeling good in my body.
I think you're doing much better now.
I am at a better stage. And I kind of bitched about it for a couple years until I did get it in the road. And what that means is different for me than anybody else. Getting off a hormone, getting on another one.
But there's also
an
acceptance, I think. An acceptance of your body type. I think it is. An acceptance of your body type. Not every body is going to be thin and lithe and long-legged and all this stuff. And not everybody's going to look like all the people on Instagram or whatever.
Right.
As long as you can start to fully accept your body type and then get it in the best shape you can get.
There it is. Yeah.
And that's what you were already there probably, but you just needed to accept it.
No, I mean, there was a change in my body over time, and it really was a long time, like almost a full year that I wasn't comfortable in my body. It didn't feel like it was the right place for me personally, not because of my opinion, but just how I felt.
Yeah, that's true.
And had help getting it in the right way.
And that was a lot. That's right.
It took a very long time.
Yeah.
I think a year until I got to, for me, that was a weight, but it was more of a feeling. And then I was able to go, oh, now I'm at a comfortable place and now I can be more accepting of my body. I didn't not accept it, but when you feel better,
when you feel better, you look better. When you feel better, you are better.
Yeah. No, but that's true. I mean, I know that I'm 5'3", that I'm not going to be like cut guns and ripped abs, but I feel so much better inside out in my body. And that's acceptance.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I love that.
So I don't know. I think that's a huge part of any conversation we have about fitness and wellness is, acceptance.
Yeah.
And
challenge. I mean, it's the challenge and never accept less than your best. Never accept less than your edge. Your edge is where you go that one moment past what you thought you could. And, but then love and accept who you are, the body you're in, and whatever that form looks like. And I think that's so great. But you started that conversation with there's the skinny culture again a little bit going on. We've talked about that in another podcast, so we won't dwell on it. But that is the shrinking body. I want to be smaller, and you know me, I'm going to always take it to the whole spiritual thing because. Why would you want to be less than you are?
That's
Why would you want to be smaller than you are? Now, if you're overweight, you're obese, you have issues there, absolutely. There's such brilliance in science now that can help us with the GLP-1s, with the understanding of our nutrition and our good foods that we have. But there's always the shadow side of that.
Yeah.
Is taking it just too far,
Right.
And trying to stay out of the mentality of what other people think your body should look like. And as long as you're happy, which goes back to what you just were talking about. So.
Right. I mean, in that shrinking mentality of your body, like we're at a time in our lives, period, where we don't need to be shrinking, especially as women at all. Right.
We need to be strong and loud.
Right. We need to go
no shrinking,
against
girls.
that shrinking violet archetype of female power, men and women.
And I didn't want to go to the patriarchy, but I think that is part of the patriarchal thing, is this mentality that is permeated throughout our world that we've bought into as women.
Yeah.
We have bought into it. Like the smaller, the better. Well, what is smaller? That's weaker, right? That's less power. I'm not gonna subscribe to that, and I'm not gonna allow you.
I don't think you ever have.
I mean, that's why that thing is right behind me. You know, it's not about.
Don't worry.
It doesn't say shrinking,
but that is a great show.
It is a great show, though.
The best.
Yeah. So that's important, and I think we're going through that phase. We were talking about phases that kind of are not one of our favorite phases. Is the getting too small kind of thing. So just pay attention to yourself and own your power, own your body. And have fun. I mean, that's okay. I'm going to bring up Mike one more time over at Motion Fitness. He looked at me because he's a great guy. First of all, I love being friends with other people that own other studios.
Right,
and he's
of
such
course.
a great guy over at Motion. And he couldn't get over my age. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. Look, you're a grandfather and you look like you're like 32 years old and in best shape of any man I've seen lately. And, you know, and we both kind of sat there and talked, and his wife was there. And she goes, what do you think it is? And I'm like, well, I know what mine is. It's joy of living. And he was like, same. Don't we love what we do? If you love what you do, you're going to be healthy. You're going to keep your body healthy. And you know, he went into the business of fitness. I went into the business of fitness because I love it. But if that's not your thing, you're still going to love. That's going to be your number one thing on being healthy is to love what you're doing. Love yourself. That is your joy. You know, have fun. Be with the person you want to be with, regardless of what it costs you. So anyway, I thought that was kind of a point to put in.
I think that's
we're
great.
Talking about fitness but yeah, start there.
What's the point, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that we talked
Excellent.
about this, and we've talked about it a lot, but I don't think we can, you know, over talk it,
Sure.
honestly. So let's just keep it.
Yeah, we're here for your needs, questions, wishes.
Yeah.
We don't know everything, but
I think we
you
do.
know a thing or two.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is good to know what you don't know. And
That's true.
So anyway, thank you guys for
All
joining
right.
us.
See you next time.
All right.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.